ngiyayiphinda lento le ngashawa eDikloof epolice station. Umbotho uma ekhuluma kanje vele umgininda umngani wakhe.
I still maintain that I was assaulted at the Diepkloof police station. Mboto is saying this because Gininda is his friend.
Benza lezi zinto lezi vele behlangene bebonke.
They do these things together.
So that's the allegation there that has been put forward by Moses Sibiya as he is testifying before the court. So previously he had made this allegation, through his affidavit that he had wrote and even demonstrated, how he was assaulted during that inspection in local. So this time around, Moses Sibiya has repeated this allegation, that he was assaulted by a Brigadier Gininda. So what is interesting, is that Advocate Baloyi actually responded to this allegation by Moses Sibiya, and this is what he said.
You made the wide-ranging allegation regarding Lieutenant Colonel Mboto and Brigadier Gininda that they know each other, they are friends. We want to put it to that there's no such evidence on record. Brigadier Gininda testified that they just know each other as colleagues and not as friends.
So that's Brigadier, Advocate Baloyi, saying, what, there is no such evidence before the court or anywhere else, that justifies whatever that you are saying. So one important critical aspect to look at, is that what should the judge do, in scenarios like this? Because the way Moses Sibiya is repeating this story or his side of this story, it shows that maybe something might have happened, just listening at his perspective. So since he doesn't have any evidence, should it just be thrown away just like that? So Judge Rat obviously is going to corroborate the evidence, of Moses Sibiya and try to see, why he might want to lie or if he is lying at all. Also, one of the biggest important things is consistency of the testimony. What you wrote in the affidavit, what you are saying now, if there is any like glitches, lack of consistency, then what he is presenting is going to be in serious trouble. But assessing all of that, Moses Sibiya has always been consistent in everything that he has been saying. There is no way there are contradictions in the way that he is telling his side of the story. Also, at the same time, Judge Rata is not only looking at Moses Sibiya's side, he is also looking at Gininda's side and Advocate Baloyi to see whether are they consistent in their side of the story. Now, to try and look at this, so Sibiya did not report that assault, and there is no medical report, that supports that he was assaulted. And Gininda on his side is denying the assault, and he is holding on to something very valuable, to say there is no evidence to back this up. So given this information from an objective standpoint, Gininda appears to be more verifiable here because he is like aligning, with documented procedures. But having said all of that, this does not mean that Moses Sibiya is lying. It only means that from a legal sense, from a legal perspective, Moses Sibiya is not supported by independent proof. So there's a big question, as to should Moses Sibiya continue to push his side of the story or the allegation, despite not having proof. And there are advantages and some risks to it. The first one, is that he has to put it on record, that this is something that did happen despite not having any evidence. And also it helps, to put pressure on the confession statements themselves, to say there is a need for accountability. You need to scrutinize those confession statements that you did accept, because they were not voluntary. So the other side now is that it damages his credibility because courts value corroborated evidence, repeatedly making something without any corroboration evidence, it can damage his reputation going forward, because how are you going to believe someone who keeps on saying something without any evidence? And another one is like diverting focus, because why we are here because of the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. We are not here because were you assaulted or were you not assaulted. Of course, that is important, but the reason why we are here is because of what happened to Senzo Meyiwa. So the downside, is that repeatedly saying that, as he is testifying, is that he can be seen as diverting focus, is running away from the main theme in itself. Because Moses Sibiya is there on the stand, to prove that he was not involved in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. He was not even there. He was elsewhere. He was doing something else. And that is where, his focus should mostly be on. But also at the same time, that's where that pro advantage comes in that repeatedly saying that, it helps him to prove that the confession statement that was taken, it was not said voluntarily. So overall, pushing an uncorroborated allegation, it has limited weight, and it's unfortunate, that is how the law works. It is what it is. Evidence is very, very much valuable. So that's life, that's why some people end up saying life is not fair. But sometimes, these rules are also there in place to protect against false accusations, because there are people who make false accusations there, as they are trying to run away from something that they did themselves. So that rule or that law, whatever it is, it's there to protect the courts and everyone else out there. So overall, is it over for Moses Sibiya? I doubt, that it's over for Moses Sibiya. It's still a long way to go. There are so many battles. This is like an entire war with so many battles. You obviously cannot win all the battles, but there are key battles out there to fight. And as I just said, he may need to refocus his attention to try and prove, that he is not involved in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. If he is not involved, you get it now. If he is not involved, then his task is to prove that he is not involved. So I'll catch you guys on the next one.